Hey guys, so I am here with another process video, and here I have prepped some supplies, and I've actually even embossed a card here and used die cut, the fringe die cut piece. So I just wanted to show you that I had pre-done that. I just pulled a bunch of supplies that match the color scheme of these photos and did that ahead of time so it wouldn't take me so long looking for them during the actual video. So here I'm just kind of showing you what some of the cards I pulled and different die cuts, these bows, some stickers, some wood veneers and different things that I thought would go with the layout. This layout is going to have 3 horizontal photos, and it is a layout about from Thanksgiving. My nephew, who has kind of long hair, was such a great sport and let my youngest like play with his hair and blow dry it and all kinds of fun stuff. So I've taken some pictures, and the title of this layout will be Good Sport. And so I was trying to decide which sheet I wanted in the background, and I decided on this because, you know, he is a man and has the blue and the yellow shirt on. I thought I would tone down the brighter colors because of course my daughter has a pink hair dryer and pink and gray jacket and pink pants, so you're seeing a lot of pink. But so I wanted to keep it kind of girly, but I didn't want that to be I didn't want it to be super bright. So here I'm just trimming down the photos. I know I want to mat them all 3 as like all together on one white mat, so I wanted to have some matte on the top and the bottom, so I need to cut them down a little bit so I'd have some white all around them. And so here I'm just adhering them down and putting them on the, and what most of the time the white cardstock I'm using is just like the Hobby Lobby Paper Studio stuff. It's not super super thick by any means, but it's great for matting, and I use it for backgrounds too because I generally use enough paper to make it sturdy enough. But it's definitely not like, you know, those thicker cardstocks that have texture to them that are really great for backgrounds. It's thinner, but it works and it's accessible to me. And so anyway, that's what this paper is. So here I'm just trimming down, and so now it's kind of like one large photo on this one mat. So then I just need to prep my papers here, and I am just taking out the branding strips here. And I end up, well, here I decide that I love this paper so much, so I cut out the middle because I know it's going to be covered with the blue paper, the navy blue paper. So here I'm just cutting out a little bit from the middle just so I can save it for later. A lot of the Serendipity paper, which that's what this line is from, some of them I only have 1 sheet of, so. And my blade pops out a lot. I think I'm just too rough with it sometimes. So then I trimmed down this navy blue floral paper, and I cut it down to 10 by 10. And I make sure that when I adhere it down that I just put, because I've done this too many times, I just put adhesive around the edges so you don't end up with like adhesive open to the back. And so here I'm just trying to figure out how I want this laid out. And I really wanted to use this yellow paper just to kind of pull out the yellow in his shirt. And so here I think I'm going to just tuck it in a little bit on each side. And I play around with this for a little bit, but I end up not liking it. Like, it just is too, it brings in that yellow, and it definitely kind of pulls that yellow out in a shirt, but it's a little too girly, a little too polka, you know, it's polka dots, and it just didn't go with how I thought it would. So I put that aside, and I don't end up using it. So here I'm adhering it down. And then trying to make sure even margins. So there's what it looks like cut out. And so then I'm ready to put the photos down. And I just do it off to the left a little bit because I know I want to embellish on one side heavily and then maybe a little bit on the other side. But I don't really have a game plan for this. I'm not scrapbooking or anything. I just kind of go with the flow on this one. So I just start kind of pulling together some of the die cuts I pulled, and I decide pretty quickly that I like the idea of like lining them up alongside and having some of them on top of the photo, some of them tucked underneath, and then interspersing this frayed edge here. I end up cutting it in two and interspersing that throughout, and then I know that down the road I'm going to use some of the smaller embellishments then to continue kind of adding layers to those horizontal layers that I'm creating. And so I just start kind of playing with these different ones and, you know, what colors I want next to each other, and I want that in two different spots, that little frayed edge. So here I'm just kind of sorting through and figuring out which ones I want to use. I do know I want to use this card that I embossed on, and so it's just a little too square for me, so I cut it into a flag or banner or fishtail, or I don't know, whatever you call it. And I really like that look, and I like how one of the words that is going to show up, it's on the right, towards the right side of the card, is courage. I thought that was really really fitting for this layout. So, and I just like the texture, like that having the words embossed on there adds to that card, so that's fun. So here I just keep kind of playing and using these different pieces to just layer, and I knew I wanted that camera because I'm sure he just loved the fact that I was taking photos. I didn't like it over there, but I knew I wanted it on there, so I set it aside over there for a little bit. This yellow card ends up not staying. I think because it has rounded corners, and that kind of just didn't work with everything else having such square corners. So I'm kind of going through. I trimmed this down because I didn't want it to be such a big card. So I trimmed that down a little bit, and I ended up making a fishtail out of it too. And I wanted to keep, again, even margins from the top die cut to the top of the blue paper as well as the bottom, so it, you know, was kind of an equal margin on the top and the bottom of the layered. So here I'm just messing. I think here's where I decided to cut that into a banner as well. I just like that look a lot better than just a square, especially when it's like coming out of underneath something. Like, I feel like it just gives it more of a playful look to it when it's cut like that. So alright, so here I start to adhere down. I like how I have this set. I think it's really fun, and it pulls in some of those aquas and blues that's in the paper, and then I pull in the pinks and the yellows through the embellishing that I'll do here shortly. So I'm able to pull in all the fun colors of that background paper, but I still keep it pretty, you know, that big navy blue block, and then the navy blue that I put throughout the layout keeps some of that more masculine color in there. These are so fun. I know that you can use them to make other stuff, but I just like them plain as they are. They just add a really fun texture. I know they're pretty easy to do by yourself with colors too. So those are a lot of fun. So here I decide I need some washi, and because I have this one die cut that is layered over and everything else is tucked in, and so I decided that I'm going to use the washi a pyre to go across the photo. So I have another element there that's going over the photo along with that one die cut. So otherwise it looks kind of out of place. And then I decided to put it in some other spots. This is Arrow washi tape. I think, I'm not for sure what brand it is, honestly. So then I initially put this up here, and I don't end up keeping it there. I end up going down a little bit further. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't like it up there. I mean, I just don't. Visually, it doesn't look right to me. I don't know. So here I go with the bows, and I changed this around a little bit too. I put this blue one down, and then I end up adding another one to it. I change them around a little bit. So here's where I decided I don't like that down there. I don't know if it feels like it's floating up there, like it's more grounded if it's lower. I'm not for sure. And I end up grounding this camera quite a bit more. I end up adding in a die cut underneath and some stickers and stuff. It just felt like it needed some of the other colors represented over in this little section here. So here's where I'm adding in this card. And I had already added some washi tape to it as well. And I just like how that grounds that a little bit, because the other side is so like square and solid, and so I just felt like I needed something more solid underneath that camera. So I'm liking that, and I like the bow, but something's just feeling off. So I'm looking at, I don't remember at what point I'll get to that here pretty soon. Nope, here it is. So I decided to try out this pink bow instead, and decided I actually like them both there. So I just kind of off-center them a little bit. Down the road, I actually end up switching that darker pink out for the lighter pink, and I think that's because the card that it's laying on is a darker pink. That ampersand isn't a darker pink, and it just that color pink was too heavy, so I do end up changing that up a little bit. I thought about adding another big bow over here, but it was just too much, and so I just hold off on that for a little bit and grab the sticker sheet and decided to go ahead and try to get some of these smaller elements tucked in where I want them. And this blue, I wanted some more of that navy blue over here, so that is a really nice addition to that little cluster. So I put that down, kind of layer it over the card, or yeah, the card and the washi there. And close-up look of what I have so far. So then I just feel like I need some more yellow, and so especially over in this cluster, so I grabbed the yellow chevron washi and create just another little layer underneath this embellishment section, and just kind of tuck it in there, and then put that sticker back on there. And I really like how that looks. Let's see. So then I grab the wood veneers and start figuring out where if I want to space them out throughout this area. And I really like how, to me, like the color of this wood veneer brings out his shirt even more than the yellow does, because his shirt is like a darker yellow and this has like a yellowish tint. That, you know, the wood veneer has this yellowish tint to it, and I thought that and just that wood and the more manly feel of the wood, I just really liked that addition. And this bottom one ends up breaking on me, but I'm able to just glue them back on in two pieces. It happens to me all the time. I probably should use different adhesive on those, but because you have to press kind of hard with the roller, but I just am too lazy to use different adhesives for different things. So if I can use my roller tape, I use my roller tape. So it works fine. You would never know it was broken if I didn't tell you. And then I end up using when the the wood veneers, the bow. And I think that is perfect because I wanted to get a bow over there, and that just added the bow, but it also added the wood veneer. So I have my 3, and that just worked out perfect. So here I have this roller stamp, and I decided to do the Remember When, because I think that was just a really fun memory and fit it well. And I'm going to stamp it in black Heidi Swapp ink, and then I changed my mind because I remembered that I had like a navy blue ink. And I decided to wash it off and go get the blue ink out. So right now I'm just testing it, and I'm so bad at these. So I always like stamp something 2 or 3 times, like in a section, because I know it's going to look bad, and it makes it look like I meant for it to look that way. So, and I do especially bad on the left side, and I end up kind of covering it up with the title anyway, which is totally fine. But it's fine. I found little stamps. I just have to practice a little bit more, I think. So there's this is Memento ink, in this like navy blue color. I think it's called Paris Dusk, I think. And so I just start stamping around, and yeah, this left side I do really bad. Part of it's probably because I'm working around the camera and like I don't have the best handle on it, but it's all good. I'm just very random. I mean, I'm random, but I'm not. Like, I make it look messy, but I put them in areas where I feel like I just need a little something, a little visual interest. So usually kind of around the embellishment clusters. But sometimes I'll do them like off the edge of the page just to kind of add just some stuff around when it gets to looking too square. That helps. So let's see, what am I doing here? Oh, here's where I decide I need a title. I'm going to actually try to journal. Then I decide, well, I need somewhere to journal, and the journaling card behind the camera, I don't have enough space. So I decide I need to just do a little bit more. So I realized at this point that I don't have the title that I wanted to use. I mean, I could have used like the picture of this as a title, but I had the title in mind, and so I would go ahead and grab these thickers that is part of the collection, and spell out Good Sport. And I just do it to the left, right above the camera, and I kind of overlap it a little bit. And I put it over the really bad stamping, so it ends up looking fine. I'm just trying to intermix the different colors that I have on the page. Sorry about that. And I'm just spelling it out. I end up I switched out that navy blue P with that turquoise color P, I think. So I wanted to get another turquoise letter in the title. All right. So I'm liking how that looks a lot. It adds a little visual weight to the left side because there's a lot of visual weight on the right side, but it's not in the same way because it's in letters versus in dies or whatever. And so, sorry guys, my phone's making all kinds of noise. Here, like the adhesive backing came off, so I had to, or on the G it did, so I have to glue it down. I love these stickers. They're a great font. They're skinny, but yet they're substantial. So I just really like this font. And they're really pretty too. All right, so I have the title, and then now I decide I need to figure out where I'm going to journal. And I'm just contemplating, I think, how to add in a little. See, I really need to be just better about this. usually I have a journaling card somewhere as part of my design, and so it's not usually a big deal, but here I don't really want to write over any of these images that are on those die cuts on the right, so I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. And here's where I decide to switch out the bow, which surprised me because I just thought that dark pink, because that's what the blow dryer was. But again, I think just that having that dark pink and that ampersand made it just too much. And there's light pink in that camera, as you know, both colors of pink, and so that pulls in some of that lighter pink from the camera too. So here I'm trying to figure out, like, can I write on this? And I'm like, no, that's not going to be enough room. So I decide to then pull something else to the right side below, layered underneath the blue paper, because now that I have on the left side, I have embellishment almost all the way to the edge. I decide that it's going to work. I need to have something on the right side that kind of also goes almost to the edge, and then this also solves my journaling problem as well. So I've just put this Polaroid card that was from the Bith and Frolic collection, and just tucking it underneath, and then I just find some different stickers and embellishments to kind of make it its own little cluster. And so here I journal just about how he was a good sport for letting her do this, and very simple. Sorry, not very exciting to watch me journal, is it? And to watch my big old head. So here I decide just to tuck some things in. Oh, let's see, I can't see what I'm doing here. Sorry. I hope my voice isn't off what I'm seeing, because there was a little pause in the video a little bit ago, and I'm wondering if I'm a little off. I'll have to listen to this and see, I guess. So here I decided to add one more bow over here in this cluster. And just do some embellishing in this little new cluster that I've kind of created. But I really like, again, how to add just some more weight over to that side. I'm looking for one more piece, and I end up finding this turquoise piece that I want to tuck under. So I got to use a lot of washi on this layout, which was good. I mean, small pieces, but I used the yellow and the arrow washi. I used 4 pieces of wood veneer, a couple of the bows, just really good layout with lots of product usage. Use the stamp, I use the embossing folder, I use the die cut, so it's all good. I think if I'm done here, I think this may be. Oh, I decided to do another little stamping here. Oh, sorry guys, that is not a pretty picture of my face. Oof. And I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy scrapping. Bye-bye.